All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back to the channel. So we're gonna do a video about Paulo Costa, and we're gonna do a video where I may have titled this something about a car crash. I haven't decided yet, all right? I don't like doing the thing where I make people think that someone's injured. I only did that once, and I didn't really mean to. But what my instincts are to title this is Paulo Costa gets drunk and car crashes his career, or something about a car crash because he car crashed his career here. Now, where we're gonna go in this video, you know what? I don't know who Paulo Costa's manager is, but they're doing a very poor job, and he should let Ali Abdelaziz manage him. I'm just gonna say that. What he should do is he should stop talking, let Ali Abdelaziz manage him going forward, because he gets drunk and he makes decisions and he tweets all about them, and he puts himself in a position that, if he was my client, I would be like, okay, guy, look, you want to drink? You want to drink? That's fine. If you want me to manage you, here's how this is going to go. Every time you drink, you need to take your phone, give it to someone, and have them hide it from you, okay? Because you can't do this. You can't do this. You're going to make it impossible for me to ever get you any money, okay? You're not... The reason you have a manager is because you're not smart at managing this kind of thing, okay? If you were, why would you need a manager? All right, so... what did Paulo Costa do, right? So we're gonna just go through every single one of his tweets yesterday, right? Because he clearly was drinking. So first thing he tweets is, morning. Next one, could some of you motherfuckers create my self-own wine logo, please? Wine, whiskey, sauce. And so people start, creating wine labels for Paulo Costa's wine. Later in the day, Jake Paul versus Dana White. 4 rounds of 2 minutes. No gloves, no helmets, only hates predictions. Okay, so right out of the gate, who is the worst person for you to create an adversarial relationship with, right? Out of every person on earth, if you are Paulo Costa, literally, that's not an exaggeration. Out of every single human being, we get 7 billion people on earth? Who's the one person who you really do not want an adversarial relationship with? There's only one that really matters. Dana, okay? So Jake Paul versus Dana White, 4 rounds, 2 minutes, no gloves, no helmet, only hates predictions. So, I'm reading between the lines. I think what you're saying is you want to see Jake Paul beat Dana White up with bare gloves or bare fists. It's like ha-ha, joke, but not really, obviously, as we see where the rest of this is going to go. So you just said to the world, I would love to see Dana get beat up by a 22-year-old who's not wearing gloves. Ill-advised, okay? I think if you would have asked Ali Abdelaziz what he thought of this idea, he would have said, don't do that. Listen, brother, I hear you. I know you're trying to be funny. Maybe you run these ideas through me before you tweet them publicly. Because you know what? Ali's going to be the one who's going to dictate whether or not you get paid by relationship with Dana, but he's going to be negotiating on your behalf. He doesn't want Dana, who has a huge ego, justifiably, to be like, fuck that guy. Do you think that that's good for business? If Dana White is like, fuck that guy. What could be worse for business than Dana White saying, fuck that guy? Especially, dude, and Paulo Costa, dude, I get it. You got a little bit of fame. When you walk around the streets in Brazil, people are like, Paulo Costa. You have no fucking leverage, man. You have no leverage. You have no leverage. None. Zero. The UFC, if Dana really got it on for you, it would hurt the UFC zero to just go, I guess he doesn't want to fight. I would imagine you already have a contract. And so if you're trying to hold out, dude, hey, have you not been watching the John Jones movie? This is not going to play out well. This is all leading towards me talking about why collective bargaining is beneficial. But let's continue. Then he tweets, and I wasn't even drunk. He says Logan Paul's a beast. He's showing Logan Paul boxing against Paulo Costa, and Paulo Costa says, and I wasn't even drunk. Okay, well, that's pretty telling. All right? Why would anyone assume you were drunk when you're sparring in the middle of the day, right? Almost as if he's drunk a lot, right? Almost as if he's drunk and tweeting, right? Next one. Just to be clear, I never signed or locked up the contract. Why UFC announced this fight if I didn't sign? My question too. Okay, so what he's talking about, which is the genesis of this video, is Paulo Costa was set to fight in August against Cannonier, and he pulled out. Unspecified reasons, right? And then he came out and said, these things. Just to be clear, I never signed or locked up that contract. UFC needs to pay me as a main fighter. Oh, Jesus, I'm actually going to read this exactly as it is. UFC needs to pay me as main fighter to have fighting in main events. YouTubers are showing all disgrace on this business. Okay. And then he says, drinking and driving. Saturday is free. So, hi, I'm drunk. And so I'm tweeting. Look, this is one of the most idiotic tweets I've ever seen. Okay. UFC needs to pay me as main fighter to have fighting in main events. YouTubers are showing all disgrace to this business. Okay. So the first part is stupid because, again, like we've talked about, if you publicly say, I'm holding out for more money, what does that do for the UFC's ability to give you more money? Nothing. That's why you shut the fuck up. Okay. And now we'll connect this dot. So let's say Ali Abdelaziz manages you, right? Ali Abdelaziz manages Gastelum, Kamaru Usman, Gaethje, Khabib, Islam Makhachev, Khamzat Chimaev, and on, and Triple C, and on, 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 and on. Okay? Do you want to know what that means? You want to know what that represents? Leverage. Okay? Leverage. Because Ali can make things very uncomfortable for the UFC if the UFC doesn't take care of his fighters. He doesn't even need to say it. Okay? That's the difference between talking and being in a position to actually negotiate. Okay? Bottom line. Okay? Bottom line. An individual fighter needs to be such a massive star to hold leverage where they can publicly say, I need more money, and then actually get paid through that tactic. Look at John Jones. John Jones is a huge star. That has not worked for him at all. Saying it publicly hurts your ability to get the deal done. But if you go to your manager, Ali, and you go, look, Ali brings you the offer, and you go, dude, Ollie, come on, man. Like, I'm going to be in the main event here. What are they going to generate on this? Right now they got Rosenstreich coming off 2 losses in the main event of this UFC main event. I mean, how do you think mine is going to perform against Cannonier versus that one? Okay, how much more money are they going to make on that event versus that one? I don't. You know what? Actually, I don't even know how the Fight Night metrics work, but I would assume advertisers pay more money based on the predictions of how much viewership you're going to get. And obviously, a Costa versus Cannonier fight is going to get more viewership than Rosenstreich versus whatever his name is that he knocked out last night. Okay, so like, I realize I'm expecting a lot for people to like actually think these things through. He goes, look, like, I know I'm a big enough draw that I should get a bump on my like if I'm the main event. What this is 250K? That just doesn't seem reasonable. Can we get more? Like, am I being unreasonable if I ask for more? And Ali, who's your manager, the reason you pay him is because he goes and represents your position to the UFC because he's smart. A, he's smart. B, he has leverage. Okay, he understands how to interact with these guys. Right? Have you ever once seen Ali Abdelaziz go on Twitter and go, my guy's not fighting unless he gets more money? Ever. Have you ever, one time? So keep in mind, okay, Ali Abdelaziz represents I don't know about most, but a huge swath of tremendously valuable fighters, okay? His entire job is to facilitate their fights getting made and how much they get paid, okay? That's his entire fucking job. I mean, that, and I'm sure he takes care of them, oh my God, guys, I got a dead hooker in my room. I got you, brother, But as far as it relates to the interaction with the UFC, like what Paulo Costa thinks he's doing, that is all Ali does all day long, okay? Now, have you ever seen him publicly say anything negative about Dana? Ever? Never. Have you ever seen him say this guy's not going to fight unless he gets more money? Ever? Never. Now, why do you think that is? You think it's because, you just figure, I think it's a strategy that's going to work. Like, Ali wouldn't know. The number one manager in the world, he wouldn't know, dude. Like, he wouldn't know the proper way to handle these negotiations. I think I'm just going to get drunk. I'm going to call Dana a shithead. I'm going to say that I wish he gets beat up, and I'm going to say I need more money. I think that's going to work. I think that's going to work, dude. I think that's going to work. And you want to know why I think that's going to work? It's because I'm drunk and I'm stupid. Okay? I'm sorry, Paulo Costa. I love watching you fight. I love it, actually. You are one of the most exciting fighters to watch. I really like watching you fight. I don't like watching you tweet and ruin your career. That's why I'm being hard on you. Consider this tough love, man. Okay? I'm trying to help you. I'm genuinely trying to help you. And whoever his actual manager is, I probably should have looked that up. Okay. And if it's Ali, then let me just say this. I would imagine that you are very unhappy with your fighter today but there's no way. Ali's fighters never do this shit. They literally never. They don't do this shit. They don't do this shit. He runs a tight ship. But yeah, so Paulo, I'm a huge fan. Don't take this personal, all right? And yeah, obviously you could beat the shit out of me. That's not what we're talking about here. I'm trying to school you on business, son. I'm trying to get you more money. Now, it's going to be hard now because you fucked yourself last night. But, anyone else that hears this is good information, okay? Like, just because I say, hey, it's good information, doesn't mean it's not good information. So, all right. So then, drinking and driving, Saturday is free. Oh my God. And then the next one, time to drink something. Jesus, okay? Next one, how much would you pay me to show up? Be generous. Oh, I forgot the biggest thing. He says the YouTubers are showing all disgrace on this business. So you know what that is? That's looking at someone else's money, okay? That's what that is. You're looking at someone else's money. And again, for the 1,000th time, not understanding that you are not looking at the same thing at all. You see, Tyron Woodley is going to get paid blah, blah, blah to fight against Jake Paul. Well, I should get that money. Oh, okay. Different sport, different entire thing. They basically, do you want to really understand what this is? Okay, if you fight Jake Paul, you're Tyron Woodley, it's basically as if you yourself, okay, were a big enough star that you left your UFC contract, you found some other UFC star, and you guys were like, hey, let's fight and let's put it on pay, like let's live stream it and let's make people pay $50 to watch it. And then it's just the two of you sharing all the money. But you have to do all the promotions. You have to do all of that stuff. You do everything, okay? That's why only people who have a big enough name to support that do it. And they also, why does anyone know who you are? Why does anyone know who Paulo Costa is? Because of the UFC, which is why the UFC owns you, okay? It is a corporation that has spent all the money marketing, creating the events, putting you in them. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't get paid. What I'm saying is to compare yourself to a YouTube star doing a one-off event or a former UFC fighter who's going to do a one-off event with a YouTube star is so ignorant. It's unbelievable, dude. And that's not drinking. That's just what a lot of these people are doing. They're like, man, these guys are making so much money over there. It's like, dude, it's a completely different thing, dude. I could tell you exactly how to do that, right? Just get out of your UFC contract, start an OnlyFans, right? And then make people pay a subscription and then do live fights, once every couple weeks. Do it organize them with your group and have real fighters fighting live on, look, you can be the next UFC, but you have to promote it yourself. You have to be the one that creates the event and promotes it yourself, okay? Okay. How much would you pay me to show up? Be generous. Less than $350K is a joke. So again, you think you are negotiating with the UFC on Twitter. Wow, bro. Embarrassing, okay? Again, this fight wasn't until August. If you hadn't signed the bout agreement, you should have called your manager and gone, I want $350,000 for this fight. It's reasonable. And you might have got it. But guess what? The UFC doesn't like dealing with fighters who are like this, of course, again, Ali Abdelaziz can make it, and I just keep bringing him up because I'm trying to demonstrate what actual leverage is, okay? So what if Ali goes, look, Dana, you and I make a lot of money together. I like to keep things friendly, but this is an unfair contract, and I don't want to have to do this kind of thing. But I can make all of these negotiations very challenging. I'm trying to do the right thing here. I don't want to have to do this with Kamaru. I don't want to have to do this with Gaethje. I don't want to have to do this with Islam Makhachev. When Khabib, I'm your best option to be in Khabib's ear and get him to come back. I want to be on your side on these things, man. I want to do what's best for you, but I need you to do what's right for my fighter, for me to be an advocate for you when it comes time for me to get these guys in line, who, if they all become challenging, becomes a major problem for the UFC. You got multiple champions over there in my stable. You got the top 1-2 contenders, superstars in my stable. What happens if I pull Islam Makhachev off the shelf for a little while? Gaethje or Usman. I can make things ugly. I don't want to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm just saying I do that out of mutual respect. So I need you to show respect to my fighter. He's in my ear. I have to listen to his shit. And the only time I'm going to bring his shit to you is if I think that he's right. And in this case, he's right. I mean, let's just be honest. Costa, he's an idiot and he gets drunk and fucks around. But let's be honest, he's a star. He is a star. Like an up-and-coming star in the UFC. He's got a future. I know he got beat up by Israel Adesanya, but he's marketable. Okay, $250K is unreasonable. This guy's going to make a lot of people watch. Give him $350 and let's just be done with it. It's $100,000. It's $100,000, right? And then he gets it, okay? That's how you actually get your deals done. Collective leverage. That's why you need to be with a manager who manages multiple people, okay? And and this is not at all meant to shit on guys who have who manage one or two guys. I'm just talking about, this is common sense, dude, right? I'm not trying to attack smaller managers. I'm just saying this is common sense. This is why you want to be with someone who represents fighters that can cause problems, because it increases your leverage when you're negotiating. And just never, ever, ever try to negotiate for yourself on Twitter. Ever. Don't ever do it. Fucking never. Never talk negative about Dana on Twitter. Never try to negotiate your own fucking contract. Never. Fucking never. Okay? Now, if you get in a situation where you're holding out or whatever and your manager's telling you, hey, I need you to just hold strong, you start taking enough shit from the public, this is the most you can say about it. Guys, I don't deal with that stuff, okay? If I'm holding out, it's because my team is negotiating my contract. I fight. That is what I do. I don't get involved in this stuff, so don't think that I don't want to fight. I trust my team. I'm doing what my team is telling me to do, because that's what's going to be best for my career. At least historically, they've always been right, so I'm doing that, okay? Give them space to work. That's about as much as you should be talking about your own negotiation, period. Don't want to see Dana get beat up by Jake Paul. By the way, I'm out of this fight. I never signed the agreement. I need $350,000 or nothing. Fuck you. Fuck you, pal. Fuck you, pal. It's not smart. Don't drink and tweet. Don't drink and tweet. Anyway, that's what I got. Subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, peace.